Hi there. This video focuses on William Golding's novel Lord of the Flies, which tells the story of a group of schoolboys who crash land on a deserted tropical island. They are thrown into a situation with no adults and no rules. Golding's novel is a social commentary on what people do when there is no civilization to guide them. The events in the novel are made all the more shocking by the fact that all of the main characters are children. So we'll look at the author's background and, importantly, examine the impact of World War II on him. It was his experiences in the war that perhaps prompted him to write Lord of the Flies. The island in the novel is vital to our understanding of it, so it's worth analysing Golding's presentation of the setting. Finally, we'll look at why the novel is often seen as an allegory or a symbol for something else. This might be a good thing to mention in any essay conclusion. Lord of the Flies was written in the years following the end of World War II and was published in 1954. Golding was a teacher before he joined the Navy in 1940. During World War II, he commanded a small vessel which destroyed German ships and submarines, and shelled enemy positions during the Normandy landings in 1944. Golding joined the Navy and entered the war with an idealistic view of society and the people in it. His experiences during World War II shocked him and changed his way of thinking. This quote sums up his initial ideology. "Before the Second World War, I believed in the perfectibility of social man." This means that Golding believed it was possible to achieve a perfect society in which everyone treated each other nicely simply by organising it properly. As Golding was to find out, however, there was something that would prevent this from happening: human nature. This is why he changed his mind about the perfectibility of society. He said, "But after the war, I did not, because I was unable to. I had discovered what one man could do to another." Golding was horrified by what war showed him about the way people could harm each other. He was appalled by the Nazi concentration camps, in which millions of Jews were murdered, and by the way the Japanese mistreated their prisoners of war, and by the effects of the atomic bombs on the cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Perhaps most of all, he was appalled by what he himself did as a naval officer. It seems that the war made him realise that even good people were capable of acts of unspeakable evil, given the right motivations and environment. On the island, the situation the boys find themselves in allow evil and savagery to emerge and take over. You should therefore see a parallel between the novel and Golding's experience of World War II. Perhaps the fire at the end of the novel reflects Golding's state of mind during the war, that people were capable of destroying their own civilization. The island plays an important part in the novel. It's first described as a paradise. Look at the quote shown here from early in the novel, which describes Simon's clearing in the jungle. The island is presented as a place full of nature and the potential for exploration, perfect for boys to crash land on, and something straight out of an adventure story. As the novel continues, the language becomes increasingly menacing, and towards the end, the island burns and has become hell. The camp that Jack sets up at Castle Rock is surrounded by danger. Look at the quotes here. The sea is compared to some kind of deadly sea creature, and the place is associated with death, notably piggies. To finish off, let's look at why the novel is often seen as an allegory. An allegory is a device which uses characters, events, and elements of a story as symbols to represent something else. There are many examples of books, films, and other art forms which symbolise something else. George Orwell's famous novel Animal Farm is an allegory for the Russian Revolution of 1917, in which the animals represent real-life historical figures. The outcast Snowball, a pig, represents Leon Trotsky, who was forced out of the Soviet Union, and the tyrannical Napoleon, also a pig, represents Stalin. The film Avatar has been described as an environmental allegory, but it also clearly symbolises the way white people forced the Red Indians from their lands during the 1800s. So what do the characters and other features of the novel symbolise in Lord of the Flies? Ralph and Jack represent oppositions. If Ralph desires civilization, democracy and order, Jack desires savagery, dictatorial power and chaos. In the end, Jack nearly wins by killing Ralph, and it's only the appearance of the naval officer which saves him. Simon symbolises the goodness of nature and morality. Once he dies, there is little hope left for any good on the island, because there is no one left to tell the boys the beast is not real. Piggy represents intellect and the adult world. He believes in rules, just like adults, and he has the intelligence to see that what Ralph is trying to do is correct. He is doomed though, because the other boys will never respect him. The beast symbolises the boys' primal fear of the unknown, and it's also a symbol of evil on the island. Jack uses the idea of the beast to gain control over the other boys. If they are afraid of it, he can present himself as the only solution to it. Simon is the only character that realises the beast is not real, and that the only evil on the island is within them all, and it is this which is symbolised by the pig's head or the Lord of the Flies. As Golding says about the novel, the boys are suffering from the terrible disease of being human. In this situation, on the island, Golding is saying that the human nature inside all of them tends towards evil and savagery, and this is stronger than their desire for civilization, rules and order. Not a happy thought, but that's allegory for you. Thanks for watching.